Dad's dinner. Georgie's dad always cooked her dinner, and though he was a beginner, his effort was winner. He loved mixing weird and wonderful things, like mushy peas added to honey from bees. He'd pick random leaves from random trees and cook them in a pot with some Somerset cheese. One evening, Georgie invited her friend Mabel. Ready for grub, they sprang into place at the table. Even for Dad, this plate did not look great. But it was late, and their grumbling tummies could not wait. A tentative mouthful was slowly eaten. Delicious! True to form, the flavour couldn't be beaten. Mabel looked across at her best friend's dad and straight up asked him, "What did I just eat? What did I just have? I'm not for a second saying that it was bad. I'm just interested to know what ingredients you did add." Dad just grinned while pouring milk on some bread. "Oh, all sorts, really," he casually said. "The ideas just come naturally from the top of my head. No recipes or cookbooks have I ever read." Then he started to line up the ingredients he'd used, and the collection had both girls completely bemused. Every culinary rule he'd broken or abused. They sat there in silence, amused and confused. He showed them toast, vanilla ice cream, and gravy. But instead of brown, it was a sort of pale navy. "Oh, that'll be from the blue bubble bath I put in. I thought it'd give the meal a nice soapy spin." Dad continued to add to the ingredients mound with something black, knobbly and round. In all seriousness, he'd said that it had been found underground in the woods by a friendly-faced hound. He added beetroot and chips, lentils and dips, watermelon pips, carrot tips and kiwi cut into strips. Then came the spices, herbs and seasoning, all of course defied any logical reasoning. Like cumin mixed together with thyme, which on first thought seemingly seems fine, but it was vigorously blended with marshmallows and lime, producing a sticky and thick greenish-grey slime. Mabel cracked first. She threw her hands in the air. "Please stop," she cried. "I can no longer bear to see what you've added to the cooking pot over there. You, sir, cook like you don't even care." At first, Dad looked hurt. Then he slowly smiled. "Ah, but you haven't seen the last ingredient, dear child. Have you forgotten your first reaction? You found it delicious." Mabel looked back at him, nodding, but suspicious. "Yes, it's true. I don't know what I'm doing. But there's an additional ingredient in that grub you are chewing." He switched off the hob and put down the oven glove. "You see, there's something else you're not thinking of. It's that I only cook food for my little girl, my little dove. And everything I do for her, I do with love. That's the key ingredient in every plateful of mess I serve her up, and while it may lack finesse, I try my best to get it just right, in the hope that with each and every bite, it makes her day just a little more bright. Now try this Brussels sprout-flavoured Turkish delight." Mabel was silenced, sat in her seat, but Georgie immediately leapt to her feet. Hugging Dad, she cried, "You're both silly and sweet. Everything you cook me is a heavenly treat. Even if it was beetles sprinkled on meat, even if it was parmesan spread on concrete, I'd gobble it up with pleasure as we sat there together, because I love you too, beyond measure and forever.